Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's one of my favorite days of the year because you don't need a sweetheart to appreciate candy and cute decorations, like my little love bandit here. Doesn't he just steal your heart? But of course I am in love this holiday season with two of my favorite cinematic lover boys, Udo Kier and Klaus Kinski. Oh, and I've talked about this romantic duo before in my Flesh for Frankenstein and Hand That Feeds the Dead double. If you haven't checked that video out, look through the channel, check that one out. And if you don't want to see me talk about it, at least go watch those movies. Because you know what? They speak for themselves. But Klaus is a constant looming figure in my life. He has my heart, my soul, my body, and mind. Udo is an equally powerful counterpart because these are sophisticates, gentlemen that just so happen to be kings of sleaze. So this weekend, grab your Valentine and put on Blood for Dracula that came out in 1974 with Paganini that came out in 1989. I tragically do not have physical copies of these two, and I really should. So I have been praying to Cupid, may he smile upon me and grace me with a special treat this Valentine's season. So, as I discussed in my Flesh for Frankenstein video, I saw the double of Flesh for Frankenstein with Blood for Dracula with Udo in person, shithoused on red wine. It was an ethereal experience and quite a Paul Morrissey experience for the books. So this feature also is a feature that features another team up of Udo's co-star in Flesh for Frankenstein with the very same dynamic. A doting, obsessed, infatuated valet to Udo's dissatisfied Dracula. One of my very favorite dynamics, like getting to watch Napoleon's final days on St. Helena. Ah, if I was a time traveler, my only wish would be to deliver a script to Morrissey of Napoleon and his obsessed ballet manservant, Louis Marchand, in their final days together. Oh, what a great beauty that film would be. A girl can dream. Hmm. But of course, this was shot back to back right after Flesh for Frankenstein, creating two masterworks in succession. Udo very invitingly plays a weakened, whining vampire in the throes of death instead of the classic beckoning Casanova, which is really interesting, amazing choice, as you'll come to find out. But he could be that classic beckoning Casanova, all powerful, manly god, if he were to feast on virgin blood, that is. Of course, the only issue is that virgin blood is no longer so easy to come by for Dracula, and he despairs the blood of these whores is killing me, and his body can no longer sadly take the abuse. His agonizing writhing from this slut blood would put Jess Franco to shame. Now, the plan at the beginning of the film is already off to a pretty terrible start. Because, of course, they think, well, as much as Italy is a Catholic country, we all know it is also the Isle of Perverts. So, once they get there, not a virgin to be found. Now, they do meet this landowner, and, he has his estate. It's in total disrepair. He owes debts all over town, so he's pretty eager to sell off and marry any one of his sloppy daughters. However, as Dracula tests their blood, he falls more and more ill, tainted by their whorish behaviors. Things are further complicated, of course, when the state's Marxist errand boy, the regular Morrissey stud and muse, is not only personally tainting two of the four daughters, he also suspects what Dracula's up to. So, of course, he intervenes and heroically rapes the youngest daughter in order to save her soul. But before you start praising him for his valiant behavior, just know he does premeditate this in the film with this classic line, I'm tired of you two tramps. How your sister? What does she do all night? I'd like to rape the hell out of her. Sister, of course, barely 14 years old. But calm down, calm down. The actor is like in her 20s, okay? Like, it doesn't get that scummy. But this means Dracula, in a rage, must drink the blood of the ugliest eldest daughter to regain his full strength, paralleling Epstein in his worst nightmare. Ah, the pageantry, perfect. I mean, Udo performing as the Baron and then Dracula back to back. Oh, a breathtaking look at his talent. The stylized nature, excellent exploitation cinema. Just an excellent exploitation achievement, if I dare say so myself. The craftsmanship better than modern day blockbusters, let's be honest. And an end so dazzling, it's been burned into my retinas. And it brings a whole other level too, leaving absolutely nothing to chance. If you think you've seen everything that could be shown in the vampire genre, you couldn't be more wrong, you dumb bitch. Oh, one of the greats, like finding a priceless jewel in the city dump for morgues. No better way to spend a day with your lover, if you can handle Udo posthumously stealing your girl. But no one more suited to stealing your girl, or more likely to kill your girl, than Klaus Kinski. Oh gosh, I am a Klaus freak. A man among men. Oh, this film is all Klaus all of the time. Ooh, a real treat for me. I get a little crazy when I talk about this film. It's one of my faves. Um, and the wonderful documentary My Best Fiend about Herzog and Kinski's relationship. Herzog says that Kinski repeatedly asked, begged, pleaded Herzog to direct Paganini. But once Herzog read the script, he was like, this is absolutely unfilmable. I could never do it. So Herzog didn't get the vision, and I mean, I'm very sorry he didn't. Very sorry he didn't. This is like probably my only point of contention with Herzog. And it's very hard for me to say that. But yeah, it is a little bit of a black spot on our very one-sided relationship. But Klaus decided, like, all right, if, he doesn't get the vision, I do. And I should direct and star in the very script that he wrote himself. Indeed. The reason that he did this is because he felt a very strong kinship to the composer and violinist that is the namesake of the film, proclaiming, which I believe without a doubt, that they led uncanny lives to each other. Not only being frenzied to the point of demonic possession with their art, Paganini was also an exceptionally sexual man. So obviously, none other than Klaus Kinski could even be considered for the role. He was born to play him. And its performance, I didn't know I couldn't live without until I saw it with my very own eyes. Over and over, several times. Now, it's pretty apparent when you watch this film that Kinski viewed it as just a thinly veiled autobiography, which is what makes it so very fascinating to someone like me, who I consider to be not just a Kinski enthusiast, but more a historian. And I am absolutely sickened. I am just sick to death. I'm sickened by the hate for Kinski in this film online. So I just want to, if you go and look it up and Google it after this, I just don't want that to dissuade you. This is a brilliant masterwork of a man completely stripped nude, fucking his beautiful seed, forcibly if necessary, into the yearning womb of art itself. We've lost the trend. We've lost the appreciation. I'm sorry. I'm still so sickened by the Kinski hate that I saw today. I was not prepared for it. I was not even expecting it, you know? It's like it just comes out of left field. It's like people saying the sky isn't blue. I don't understand it. Before I start getting upset, I just want to say we've lost the appreciation for transgression as a culture. We've strayed so very far from the light. But bring me your off-putting, problematic, upsetting narratives, yearning to breathe free, and let me hold up my torch and illuminate their exquisite beauty. And I love this film, how I love my Valentine's Day chocolate. Swirling, avant-garde ravishment by deranged psychopath. Films all frantic violin and commentary that knew of either the man or myth of Paganini. He plays till he spits up blood, fully erect, every time he picks up a violin, which is literal because we are told that at the beginning of the film. He made women scream themselves into orgasm. It's maniacally self-indulgent. If there's anyone that I would want to watch cinematically jerking off all over my face, you goddamn bet your sweet ass it's Klaus fucking Kinski. And his real life son plays his movie son in this, and it reminds me of sort of what Cormac McCarthy explained when I swallowed some love bandit's weird thick fur. I don't know what this thing is made of, but it's like obviously it's like really toxic. I don't know. Pure poisons. I don't know. He's a love bandit for many different things. This man, he's made of all the toxic chemicals of the world put together. Um, Jesus Christ. um, but yeah, his real life son is his son in the movie, and it kind of reminds me of like what Cormac McCarthy said about writing The Road, where he wrote that about having a son very late in life, and how it was like this kind of felt like this automatic abandonment of his boy, because you're leaving them behind in a very increasingly terrifying, unpredictable world, hoping beyond all reason you've given him enough virtue in your shortened time together to protect himself when you inevitably fail by passing away, which manifests in this film in a fully enmeshed relationship. And of course, in real life, too, when you look up the real Paganini. Paganini overly dotes and, unable to find a middle ground in anything in his life, becomes as obsessed with sex and violin as he does that son. His son even having to speak for him when his voice was lost due to likely various venereal diseases. His child serving as a ventriloquist proxy for his aging, deviant father. But he lived his life to the fullest, driving women and even animals insane with sexual desire. Even the horses are horny in this one, and you know what? We must watch them fuck. The art of narrative. Paganini hides the sickest of crimes, and no, not just a gathering of little girls watching him get sucked off in a field and lamenting it wasn't them that got to do the sucking, but something much more tragic, for his wife was hideously murdered. But Paganini's a sensitive man, and he shies away from the speculation that he's the culprit, ashamed that it was indeed his and her wild desire that drove her to madness. The woman died at her own hand. She masturbated to death. It is overwhelming, powerfully erotic energy. The film is a romantic delirium. Don't fucking come at me like the people online complaining about such charlatan things as does the film have a plot other than unsimulated sex encounters with any woman that happened to wander on set? Kinski acting with his left hand when his, violin double clearly playing with his right. Unintelligible structure. How dare you? Viewing this piece is akin to seeing through the eyes of God. Do you dare say that you could glimpse and understand such a being? The sensory experience alone could kill a man. No, you must view the film ready to experience the omnipotent thrusts of Klaus Kinski's full virility. Not a person, weak of heart or spirit, will come out alive. Klaus himself could barely survive the role. It was his only directorial feature and his last role before his death in 1991. And Herzog said that the acting in Cobra Verde, their last collab together, changed because of Klaus's early adoption of Paganini's spirit. But I believe this might actually be why it's my favorite of Herzog and Kinski's work together. Because Klaus transcends life, simply a man. He wasn't regressing into a dissociative state, but something similar to the meditative plane you enter right before death. Like peering into a black hole, Klaus saw all of existence before him, embodying his final form, spreading the legs of time and space, penetrating it, devouring it, squirming to his will and moaning out everything that ever was and that will ever be. He gave it everything he had, and we are all so lucky he did. So, in the name of love, walk arm in arm and cherish the courting of my two most favorite men who ever lived. But more than men, maybe more than God himself, they were the universal spice of life. Even when humanity is but an echo that remains in the vastness of our world, two names will continue into the expanse of nothingness: Udo Kier and Klaus Kinski. Forever may they reign. I love you, boys, and I know you'll love them too. So kick back with some candy by candlelight. What may be common man's filth is an attuned man's pantheon of romance. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone!